right. It says we're live. I swear all my equipment's falling apart, guys. We're falling apart. This is going to be a very casual stream. Just like we do. Sleuth Crew Live. We're all just hanging out, checking in. You know, talking about the future of the channel, things you can expect. This is an opportunity for you guys to vet. I do have some updated information for you members. And also, my camera took a shit. So I don't have a camera. My iPhone 16 makes a great camera. The only problem is I don't have a microphone. I need to have a decent mic connected to my iPhone in order for it to work on my PC. Because you have to download a program, and then you basically do it all through Wi-Fi. So that's what I was trying to do last night. And I was about to go ahead and reschedule the live stream for the Jordan Sofer case. But then I realized, hey, my microphone's not working. Like, it was picking me up, but it wasn't picking me up through the correct mic. So I was like, what the hell's going on here? And then I couldn't troubleshoot the problem, so I got frustrated. So I will be getting a new camera. So those of you out there who want to support my channel, if you want to donate to that cause, you can. Otherwise, I'll just start putting some money aside. Probably need about $300. Get a decent camera. Something I can use for future projects. Anything that we get for the channel is a tax write-off. So, but if you guys want to help with that cause, just put, if you do any donations through Cash App or whatever, just put digital camera in the comments. That way we can keep track of it and do a giveaway or something like that. And you don't have to feel pressured. Like, I'll take care of it, but if you want to be involved and show your support, that's a good way to do it. And also, we're planning a trip out to the Emily Pike, a few different locations where her body was discovered. And we're also going to go visit her Indian reservation. I'm gonna go out there and ask some questions. You know, I'm from out that way, and I have Native American in my blood, so I have Navajo and Apache, if I'm not mistaken. And that is an Apache reservation. So if you guys want to donate to that, that'd be helpful. You don't have to. We got it all ready to go. But if you want to, if you want to be involved, we're going to take the drone out there. We're going to investigate. I'm going to bring the camera out there, my iPhone camera, like I did with the Mount Ord murders of Pandora Julesrud and Evan Clark. And guys, with that case, we're just waiting on the FOIA stuff. They processed a lot of it. It wasn't denied. They took our request. So they are fulfilling some of the order. But I asked for everything. So I'm waiting on that. At the very least, we'll get the police reports, maybe some body cam footage. Possibly some dash cam, maybe a 911 call. But I asked for it all. Welcome in, sees through. Mark, what up? Oh, and members, here's the update. We're going to be doing some spring cleaning in the Discord. So I'm basically going to delete everything. Not all the information, because that's archived. I want old members, new members to have access to that. There's a lot of, especially for the Delphi murders, we have so much information from over the last like 3.5 years. So if you're a member and you're interested in the Delphi murders and you're already a member, jump into the Discord and you can just search, certain terms, keywords, and it might help you with your research. We put a lot of effort into that case. And we have tons of other cases too. A lot of information going on in that Discord. Karen Hick. So what we'll be doing is some spring cleaning. Most likely delete everybody. And then if you are still currently a member, and I just printed out the list, send me an email, but include your YouTube information, your @name. Because I know a lot of you who are in Discord, you don't have the same name in Discord as you do in YouTube. So make sure you email me and say, hey, you booted me out of Discord. This is my YouTube channel here. And this will be my Discord name. That way I know who's who. Good to see you, Karen. Jerry, what up? Beth, good to see you. Tony Ann, how you doing? Big Fish. And I did have an interview with Justin Woodhouse, but he's gone MIA on me. So I don't know. Right at the last minute, a lot of shit happened. So he was kind of running around. He was doing a lot of traveling. He didn't really go into specifics, but it sounded like it was work related. So, I mean, if you're on that grind. But I did reach out to him, waiting to hear back. So I don't know. Usually this is a sign of, it's not a good sign. But I haven't heard back from him, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. But as of right now, we're following those 2 Arizona cases, the Mount Ord murders and the murder of Emily Pike. Remember, Emily Pike was kidnapped from my hometown, Mesa, Arizona, and found about, I would say, maybe 30 miles from her original home, which was an Indian reservation, the Apache reservation, near the Salt River Canyon. So we're going to get out there, do some digging around, some poking around. We'll go to the reservation. I'll see if I can get an interview with her mom. If not, I'll just kind of hang out in a public square and stop by the police stations over there and try to get some comments on camera. And then if we can, we're going to try to get back out there to put the Sleuth crew eye in the sky for Chelsea Grimm. So we have that in the works. And if you guys want to help and donate to any of those causes, just leave a comment. If you send a Cash App or something, just let us know. That way we can apply it accordingly. But when we originally went out there to go help search for Chelsea Grimm, you guys helped quite a bit. I think the Sleuth crew paid for all of the gas. I think it ended up being like $280. And I documented the whole thing. So if you guys want to see that documentary that we actually created, it's not my best work. Remember, we're still building. We don't have the best equipment. I can't really justify taking money from like the savings account and stuff like that. So we just have to be patient when the money comes in and do it. That's really the only way I can justify trying to become a YouTuber, as long as it doesn't affect my bottom line. Really, I'm just on a sabbatical. But hey, this would be a dream come true, to be able to be a YouTuber and try to chase these bad guys and find answers. And if anything, bring you guys into the actual scene, right? We go boots on the ground and we try to bring you guys right along with us. So big shout out to all of those who helped with that cause. Unfortunately, when we went out there to look for Chelsea Grimm, we didn't have this badass drone that we do now. So we're going to go back out there. I just watched a great documentary on Chelsea Grim. There's a lot of new information, and they all seem to say the same thing: is what they need more of for the Chelsea Grim is eyes in the sky. So you get this high def drone, high definition. I mean, like 10 gigabytes for 4 minutes of video. You get this great video footage, and then you process it through AI. These AI systems, what they do is they kind of look for anomalies, bright colors that don't match that terrain, and they focus in on that. I ran my drone footage for the hold on, guys. Getting a text message. Oh, that's a good question. Okay. All right. Well, that's what we did with the Daniel Robinson. You guys remember when we went out looking on a local missing persons case here in Phoenix, Daniel Robinson? Well, we got this great footage and we ran it through the AI system. I don't have my free trial anymore, but I mean, we can always submit the footage to whoever's currently working on it, and maybe they can have it done. But everybody agrees that what Grim's case needs is more drones in the sky. So if you plan on helping or going out there for whatever reason, and you have a decent drone, bring it out there. Good to see you, Fishy. Chopper, what up? Get to the chopper. Return the diamonds. Always good to see you. Moon Shadow, how you doing? Right back at you. Bad actors. Bad actors, if you get booted from the Discord, don't panic. Shoot me an email and I'll get you back in there. We're going to clean that out. We try to do that once a year. And if you're a new member and you would like to partake in the members only Discord, shoot me an email and I'll create you a personalized link. What's up, Cheeks? Can you guys believe it's already Friday? Friday, July 11th, 2025. I feel like the world is spinning faster. It was always turning. We didn't start the fire. Yep, gas money. You guys don't have to. Like we've budgeted for it, and a lot of this stuff is a tax write-off. We got the LLC now. I'm looking into nonprofit stuff like that. So, and the website's up and running. We just got that monetized. So I need a few tweaks. You guys want to support the channel? Go over there to sleuthintuition.com. Probably going to take the merch shop down, and we'll just try to hustle some merch over the live stream. So if you guys want any merch, just shoot me an email. Say, hey, I want a shirt that says Sleuth Crew, and we'll talk about it. I'll tell you what we need to do to get it done. So we're going to take down the merch shop. It just seems to be cluttering the website. I want it to be a high traffic area. And for whatever reason, Google Ads does not like the way my shop is set up, because we don't have a business account or anything like that, which will probably be my next step. Set up the business account, get the website legitimized, increase traffic there, and then that'll help with funding too. So once that website picks up, that'll help too. Because that's all I want to do, guys. I want to chase down these stories. Imagine if we had enough to go rent an ATV, drive out to Colorado and see what was going on with the whole Morpheus situation. That stuff takes funding. And although we could possibly get to it, can't justify taking the kids' college funds and chasing my dreams of my fantasies of helping on a missing persons case. And I've gotten it down, my fantasies, to a manageable delusion. One day we're gonna do something great. I know it. Mark, put me in, coach. Yeah, so right now we just need a new camera and some gas money, but we're already hopefully planning to go take a look into the Emily Pike case this weekend. You guys got to remember, my wife's super pregnant, so it's up to her. She likes doing these things. We'll be kid free. The grandparents will have the kids, and if she's in the mood and she's got the energy, we're going to go out there. It's not that far from me. It's like an hour and a half drive. But one thing I haven't seen anybody do is stop by the reservation. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop by and I'm just going to ask questions. I thought I had some other news for you guys. So I told you about the Justin Woodhouse interview, kind of being on thin ice right now. At least that's how it feels. I don't know. The dude might just be super busy. Let me see. There was something else. Oh, you guys know who John Lentini is? John Lentini. See if anybody can answer that in the chat. What's going on, Don? Happy Friday to you, my friend. J Ray, what up, J Ray? Leslie, how you doing? Been a rough week. My grandfather. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Cheeks. Hang in there. Yeah, I lost my grandmother recently, so I know how you're feeling. And what's weird about me, I don't know anybody that handles loss well. But when it comes to like being able to cry and stuff like that, it hits me. It's like somebody smacked me with a wet towel from behind, and I didn't even see it coming. And then that's the waterworks. I can be in the middle of watching a TV show, walking around the grocery store, talking to my wife, and then boom, here comes that wet towel. It's so crazy. Like your mind just kind of wanders into like an old memory, and you don't want to let go of that memory because it's so beautiful, but it just hits you like a wet towel. Bam. At least that's how it is for me. YouTube. I wish you could go to Delphi with it. I would if I could. Every time we plan a trip, we have money put aside for things like that. I'm always like trying to sneak in like Chicago or, somewhere, somewhere where I could just get like a rental car and then go to Delphi. But I will go. If I had the funding, I would have already gone. Yeah, we're just not there yet. Will, what's that? Okay, John Lentini. Nobody. What's up, Frank? I did not know that. I'm sorry for your loss as well. Life goes on and we don't forget them. That's the best part of memory. Something small can trigger a memory, good or bad. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, me, I kind of suppress it. I try to like avoid the pain and I ball it deep down. That's why it probably smacks me in the face like a wet towel. All right. So who is John Lentini? So John J. Lentini, a certified fire investigator and expert in fire debris analysis, has spent over 50 years exposing systemic issues in fire investigations that contribute to wrongful convictions. His work detailed in Twice Burned, a fire scientist's adventure in overturning and preventing wrongful arson convictions. And we should be seeing that next year. Identifies key reasons for false prisons in arson cases, which also reflect system failures. So what I want to do is I want to talk to him about the Flora fires, and then I want to debate him on some of the information that was presented during the Delphi trials, specifically because he's a tool mark expert as well. So he's an expert in tool marks as well. So I successfully made contact with John. He says he's going to be busy until the 17th, but after that, we're going to get something scheduled. So it's looking like we might get John on the show. And this is amazing. I mean, we're talking about a top-notch investigator here. Okay. So I'm sure he has a lot of opinions. So I don't know how far his toolmark expertise falls, but I know he's going to be an invaluable source when it comes to the Flora fires. You know, this guy knows his shit. So I'm looking for that. If you guys want to look up John Lentini, something to look forward to. Probably late July, early August, I'm thinking. So we had only one door shut with the Justin Woodhouse, and then successfully, because you guys, there's a lot that I do behind the scenes. Like I make videos all the time that I don't put out. I'm having conversations with very important people when it comes to the true crime community. Sometimes it just doesn't pan out or there's scheduling issues, but I'm constantly working on things behind the scenes. But most importantly, I'm educating myself. You know, I don't want to come up here and sound like a complete idiot. An idiot, I'm fine with, but a complete idiot, that's unacceptable. I plan to cover the BTK. We have that live stream scheduled. I've been rescheduling them because I'm not ready, or I have a scheduling conflict, or I'm not happy with the content that I've put together. So I'm being more cautious of how I present information. But we're going to talk about the BTK because of what's going on with Brian Kohberger. You know, he's basically, Kohberger's taking a page right out of his playbook. So we're definitely going to look at that. We've been keeping up with the Epstein bullshit, you know, very political. But one thing I wanted to talk about specifically today is the justice system and justice itself. I mean, there's no such thing as justice, right? Which one of you in the chat believes in the United States of America, the justice system that we have here? I mean, the best thing you can hope for in life is not being arrested. That's it. Stay away from police. You know, I don't even think it's a good idea to call them for basic shit. You know, I feel like sometimes when they show up, they bring more problems than what you had before. Somebody's breaking into your vehicle, call the insurance company, get the window replaced. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to call the cops. They're going to come in there and they're going to look around, see if there's something they can bust you for, and then not ever catch the guy that you're calling them for. It's fucking pointless. Probably try to arrest you for some kind of a insurance scam. J Ray, my boyfriend's dad was one of the first arson investigators, like kind of helped start that whole field of investigation. That's amazing. We have a bunch of his old materials. They're interesting. I bet. I'm fascinated with investigations. What I've learned in the past few years is insane. What's going on, Hiawatha? What up? Avoid law enforcement at all costs. Yeah, if you can. You know, I feel the same way about hospitals. Avoid them if you can. Bad actors. I think it needs improving, but it's the best in the world generally. Yeah, but I think the world overall, as far as justice, sucks. You know, that's not something to be proud of. Karen, justice system sucks. I mean, there's no such thing as justice. It's like a myth or a faith-driven belief. If you believe in it, it's real. No, bitch, it's not. Yes, you can buy aircon unit. About something else. It's got flaws, but so do all. Yeah, they all suck. There's no such thing as justice anywhere. I mean, it's not to say, oh, well, over here in Europe, they got it all situated. I'm just saying it's all completely bogus. It's like some weird ritual that we do. We always seem to sacrifice somebody right at the end of it. At the beginning, the end, right? Sacrifice and you're right, Tony. Tony says real justice comes at the end for everyone. Earthly justice can never be done. So I feel like we're just running around playing God, you know? Like, oh, this is good, that's bad. Now we have to punish you. Like we're all just casting judgment. And if it wasn't for that bad apple in the room, we wouldn't need to do any of it. Like all of us right now, if we all just came together in a room and we just hung out, nobody's going to cause any problems, right? But it's once you start injecting the alcohol, got the druggie in the back, the entire group that never met each other, some, are magnets for each other. They can see each other across the room. Ooh, there's another meth head. I don't know how they do it. I had a buddy who struggled with meth a long time ago. He's good. He's been good now. He's, doing great. But he struggled with meth when we were younger, and I just couldn't understand how he could go from being like this normal, successful, driven, talented person to somebody who just sold all their shit and is hooked on drugs. Anyway, he told me that he could spot another drug addict in a crowded room. And we had a family get together one time. This was a long time ago, right? So he was invited over, and I think we were at my dad's or something. It might have been Thanksgiving. And then here comes my brother, and he's got this new girl with him. And before we knew it, my buddy and this girl somehow later that day like snuck away or met up and got high. It's like, dude, you just met this person, you don't know anything about him, and somehow you guys knew that you both were drug addicts. Fucking crazy. So being a drug addict is a lot harder than you guys think. You show up into a crowded room out in a public space, and then you got drug addicts looking at you, making eye contact with you. Like, ooh, this guy smells like meth. Mark Redwine puts me in the mind of the BTK. Not for me, Hiawatha. Remember, BTK was perceived as a good father, no broken marriage. He was a churchgoer. Like, he was literally hiding in plain sight. Mark Redwine couldn't hide from anything. You take one look at him and you know what he is. You know he's eating shit out of a diaper, which is a true story. It's not something disgusting that I made up. It's literally what he does and who he is. I think might even be one of the reasons why he killed his son, Dylan Redwine, if you guys aren't familiar with the case. I think Dylan found his photographs. Mark Redwine would dress like a woman or a baby or something, something really weird. I guess when it comes to the BTK, that kind of stuff, Hiawatha, yeah, I guess they have that in common. Because the BTK used to like to photograph himself like bound, tied up, and kind of hanging. He even got himself stuck one time, I believe, at a Boy Scout outing and was almost outed as a psycho. He got himself all tangled up and couldn't get himself down. So I guess kind of they're similar, because Redwine used to do shit like that too. Put himself in these disgusting situations and then document it. Yeah, the pictures. So yeah, I agree with you there for sure. I believe that's what got Dylan killed. Dylan didn't want to go with his father. It was a court ordered. He cried in court. His mom screamed in the courtroom, and the judge said, and I mean, it's good. A father needs time with their children. But this is the thing that we're trying to do here on this channel, is how do we see these sickos? The judge didn't see him. The judge didn't go, okay, Mark Redwine is a disgusting piece of shit. There's no way I can send Dylan with him. No. The judge looked at Mark, and Mark manipulated him because he's a psycho. He manipulated the judge into thinking that he was just a father who wanted to be with his child. But that wasn't the case at all. He only wanted to be with the child to spite the mother. He manipulated the courtroom so that he could hurt the mom. And how else can he hurt the mom? He killed her child. Dylan was an incredible kid, smart. He knew what Mark was. That's what makes this so devastating, is that it's almost like the court helped him. That's not justice, right? That fits into what we were talking about. How is that justice? The judge used the power of the long arm of the law, kidnapped Dylan from a place that he wanted to be and his parent knew damn well he should be, forced him into the arms of his killer. So it was almost like Mark Redwine and the government killed Dylan together. They worked together to murder him. BTK was way smart. Yeah, Redwine's a fucking moron. The BTK is a moron, but definitely smarter than Redwine. You know, the BTK was not some genius by any means. You know, he's no Hannibal Lecter. Yeah, I watched a documentary on that case a couple of days ago. God rest Dylan's soul. Yeah, it's awful what happened to him. In the way that I might have some of those interviews here. Might be on the other computer. Let's see. Oh, I do have a video on Mark Redwine. Let's see. Oh, a couple here. Let's see. Remains of Dylan Redwine found. We'll play this one real quick. Yeah, this is an awful case. A lot of people were looking at Mark Redwine for the Delphi stuff. You know, he didn't live too far away. And he was reported to be in the area at the time. And he was a truck driver.
The search for missing Colorado teen Dylan Redwine has come to an end, and it's not the end anyone was hoping for. Today, sheriff's officials confirmed that items found during a 5-day search in the mountains include the bones of Dylan Redwine. He was 13 years old when he went missing back in November near Durango. News 13's Krista Gutierrez is in the Newsplex with more.
Kim, the La Plata County Sheriff's Office made the announcement less than 2 hours ago. Dylan's remains were found during a search of Middle Mountain Road just north of Vallecito Lake. Officials say that's about 8-mile drive from the father's home. These are pictures from that search. Sheriff's spokesperson Dan Bender says a variety of items were found during that search.
What's up, bootleg? I don't think so.
The Colorado Bureau of Investigation alerted sheriff's investigators today that tests
Miss
conducted
Doglover
on those bones confirm they are the remains of Dylan Redwine. It has been a long and difficult search for the boy who went missing from his father's house near Durango during a visit for Thanksgiving last year.
Let's go to J-Rate. Sleuth, is it 100? What do you mean, is it 100 degrees yet? It was 118 2 days ago. It almost destroyed my garden. It was like 100 degrees this morning at 8 a.m. Like, we're literally burning. There was a guy arrested in Phoenix 2 weeks ago, and cops threw him down on his chest, completely melted his skin. He showed his chest on the news. Shit looked like Freddy Krueger. I'm not lying to you. His flesh was completely melted together.
The sheriff's department says Redwine's family has been notified. No word yet on if foul play is suspected in Dylan's disappearance and death. Searchers were not led to the area where the remains were found based on a recent tip. It was an area they weren't able to cover very well until recently.
The family has been advised of our activities on a very...
It was a gentleman who was arrested here recently, Mark. The cops approached him in a Phoenix parking lot. They threw him down on the ground, and while they were putting handcuffs on him, it was so hot out, and the pavement was so hot, it melted the flesh on his chest. Melted through his clothes, through his shirt. And I'm not just talking like minor burns where you lose a couple layers of skin, you know, and then you're like, that hurts. No, I'm talking like it was completely mutilated.
Regular basis, including this week. I can't fathom what they're going through. To have this finality of a result as far as the search for Dylan, we're only hopeful that this will help them move towards some closure.
Now, the entire ordeal got ugly. Dylan's case was featured on Dr. Phil, where his mother and son accused Dylan's dad of having something to do with the boy's disappearance. Mark Redwine was asked to do a polygraph test on the show, which he refused. Now, at this time, investigators say there have...
Now, remember, Jordan Sofer's adopted father also refused to take a polygraph test.
They have not named any suspects, but they do say this remains a criminal investigation.
And throughout this whole process, Mark Redwine's doing interviews. He's crying on live TV. It's all crocodile tears. But he's a good example of how a psychopath who doesn't give a shit about his own kids, he obviously didn't want to get busted. He took the time to take his dead son somewhere outside of town into a wooded area, hike some ways to where he wouldn't be found, and just discarded him like trash. His own flesh and blood. Like, why are you fighting so hard in court to spend time with somebody who knows you're a piece of shit just so that you can be alone to murder the poor child? And also you had help from the government. But here, let me show you that story of the man basically cooked. I think I even have the probable cause affidavit somewhere. Or no, it's not an affidavit. I think it's a complaint that the man filed. Is it 100 degrees here yet? Shit, I wish.
Every day.
I almost laughed when you said that, Jerry.
At Big 2 Toyota, our
Come on. I'm just waiting.
employees find small ways
This commercial.
to make your
Come on.
Scorching hot pavement for more than 4 minutes. His skin literally melted and peeled off his body. Now that man is suing Phoenix PD.
All right, here it is. Let's go real quick to Big Fish. Your interviews are great. I want to watch that JP interview. Have you watched Knowing All We Know? Yes. If you knew what I knew behind the scenes, like I tell you guys, there's a lot of shit that I'm thinking and theorizing and whatever you want to call it that I don't talk about live on YouTube because, it's not appropriate. But Fishy, if you knew it, shoot me an email. I'll tell you what I know about JP behind the scenes, and then you can try to put it together. But yeah, if you knew what I knew, you would think he was involved with Richard Allen and Keegan Kline. But there's nothing else I can do. I did my interview. I created the information, the tip that was needed to get the interview, which was my goal. Talk to me. Do anything about it. This is how I established my relationship with Becky Patty. We had to go through Becky Patty. Becky Patty went direct to Holland with information, got SP involved. Couldn't miss polygraph. They held him for, I think, 48 hours on some other violation. Gave him a polygraph test. He failed the polygraph test. He was also caught with a bloody railroad spike on his person wrapped in newspaper. I don't know if that was ever tested or not, but they polygraphed him, interviewed him. They took a hair follicle test. They took blood from him. What else can I do? You know, that's the hard part. We have to rely on these people to do a proper investigation and to help bring justice. All I do generate the tip. Like, here you go. What they do with it is on them. But if you knew what I knew behind the scenes, which I'm willing to share with you because I know you're invested and you could probably piece together the information and take it further, you'll be shocked. You will be absolutely stunned. I mean, with what I know pretty much is 100% proof that he's involved. But there's nothing else that I can do. Nothing. Miss Doglover, can we put the JP interview link in the chat for those who haven't seen it? No, I've taken it down. I might put it on private. I still talk with Jay from he said he will specifically by the investigation not to communicate with me. The time I talk to him, told specifically none of me. And he didn't say that he was going to agree to that or that he was going to follow those orders. He was just telling me that's the last thing he said to me. I was told by such and such not to talk with you. Sherry Falcon from I don't think her name's Falcon. Yeah, we've had her on. Yeah, I know her. She talked right after I did. Talked. Fallon? Yeah, Fallon from Dead Academy. Yeah, go check her channel out. I don't know if she's been doing anything lately, but yeah, I have that live stream still up, I think. Unless I put it on private. But yeah, you're right about that, Sherry. You are right. Yeah, Fallon. Yeah, we interviewed her and we talked about it. We shared our experiences with JP. I had JP on a live stream. And right in the middle of the live stream, the police showed up. The police showing up at his house in the middle room. And then he sent me an email. He said, I interview with that kid, with that guy. He's all, I would like to speak with you. So I emailed him. I said, I'm available between this time. I got a call. Tony Leggett didn't even know that I wasn't from Indiana. He's like, can I come by? Can I have an officer come by? and pick that up? I was like, well, I live in Phoenix. He's like, oh, you're not local. I was like, no. I go, I've been following the Delphi case. I have a YouTube, I've been doing it through my YouTube channel. So he asked me to put it on a CD and mail it to him. So that's what I did. I put it on a CD and I mailed it off to him. Come to find out, he didn't do anything about it. He didn't do one thing about it. So then I got frustrated. And that's when I started speaking to Becky. Because apparently Becky was asking about it. She was like, hey, what's going on with this interview with this guy? And blah, 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 blah. And she was trying to get in contact with me, and I was trying to get in contact with her. But that's how we began communicating, was through the whole JP stuff. Mark, email me about what? You can email me anytime. Yeah, I should reach out to Fallon. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll see what she's been up to. She has a podcast, Dead Academy. You guys go check it out. We did a live stream together about the whole JP thing. It was a great stream. So, yeah. Dead Academy is definitely a friend of the Sleuth and Television channel. Shout out, by the way. Yeah, do you remember that? It was like they knew he was live streaming with you. It was crazy. And it was right when he was telling us about how he knew Kagan Klein and how he was connected to Kagan Klein. Like, what a small world, right? And that he worked in Las Vegas or had a business in Las Vegas at one point. And there was another sicko. His name was Dustin Rippey. So JP's father was Tony Klein's neighbor. Tony Klein's neighbor's daughter had a child, Dustin Rippey, who was eventually for CSEN and station and all that kind of shit. But come to find out, he's connected with Kagan Klein. And that same woman was dating JP's father. That's he was connected. Go at the girlfriend's house. It's next door. Klein. So he's running around with his father's girlfriend's two brothers who are friends. I Klein to Dustin Rippey and to me that he was there at the Delphi crimes at the Monon High Bridge Trail at 3:30. So yeah, very interesting. I'm right there with you, Fishy. Don't get me wrong. I'm right there with you. But if I felt it would even be helpful, I would say it on the live stream, the stuff that I know. But what I know would possibly negatively affect innocent people. Yeah, that stuff was all weird. I was also told he was a brilliant hacker by all of the family members that reached out to me. He also, during the interview, and get away with it. Sherry says she's a great friend of mine, Sleuth. Fallon, that is. Yeah, Fallon's amazing. That's good. Very passionate. Very. And I think her interview might still be up. So if you guys want to see her interview with Julian Powell, I would go check it out. Dead Academy. I wonder if I can find it on here. Let's see. I talked to her. No, or something. She says no. Could be wrong though. Okay, so did she change the name? Did she change the name of her podcast to Wicked and Witchy? Because I can't seem to find it. Was it Dead Academy or Death Academy? Yeah, I can't find it. Sherry, if you have it or if it's still up, send it to me. That's why. JP was on the high bridge that day, right? Weird. He is not in any of the documents. Didn't he say he was there around? No, he was there around 3:30, 4 o'clock. But he was the there was snow on the ground, so he was there in a row. And also, he had recently rented a 360-degree camera from Google. He was participating in one of their programs, one of their local guide programs, where a lot of reviews and you take photographs, Google, and then to post it. That's how he became a suspect. So the day before, he was taking these photographs. So he was on the bridge on the 12th, early in the morning, I think. And he showed me proof. He sent me a photograph that he took that day, and it had the timestamp on it. So I have that. I think I've shared it with you guys. So he proved that he was there the day before, and that's how he became a suspect. The time I went viral. You guys that distinct form. But a lot of conspiracies of true crime, and there for what took interest in place. That's where I discovered the name JP. That's where I became interested and started following, and then he became my person of interest. I reached out, got the interview, got him on as a guest, and then eventually had him basically arrested. But just keep in mind, before I did all of this, well, actually, no, I think it was after the interview. So after my first interview with him, he had family members reach out to me. All of them. It was probably about, let's see, 4 different family members, and none of them were the me. So they saw the interview and they were like, I knew it, the situation, right? And they all called me. Like, we've been trying to do this, we've tipped this in, and nothing's happened. So they all tipped in this guy who is a direct relative, Really, yeah. Anybody that's going to go out there and accuse Kelsey, I don't want names mentioned in my chat. I don't care if they're right or wrong. Like,
I'm ABC 15 Chief Investigator Dave Biskobing. We broke the story, first exposing that video back in October. Now tonight, we're back with a copy of this new lawsuit. And a warning, some images in this story are graphic.
During our record-breaking heat wave this summer, officers held this man down on the asphalt with his skin melting and peeling.
This guy down on his chest to handcuff him, and look what the pavement did to him. It's permanent. That looks extreme. Alrighty. So let me close that down. Looks like it's slowing down my stream. Close that too. Sleuth at the Wayne's World drive-through machine. Dodgy signal. The router has probably melted. Yeah. Internet can't give about or my wife could be she might be in a meeting or something. Randomly, she's just like in a meeting from time to time. Fishy, Don't Hate Create is my channel. Great channel. Make sure you guys go check it out. Jari, is it messing up right now? Okay, hold on. All right, hopefully that helps. Sorry about that, guys. Kids are out of school. I found those pics back in the day too. It's light, bright, sun. The I mean, what more could I possibly do? Let's see. Here was the video that was actually on Google. So this is how it all started right here. What? So February 12th. (2017), this person took this photograph. And you can find this on murders. You clicked on this, our first 6 after. You can use website. But yeah, he sent me a lot of other stuff too. He took a personal photograph this same day on his way towards the bridge of the Monon High Bridge Trail. And he has a timestamp on it. He sent that to me as well. Black, right? Dressed in all black. Oh, the snap. Type of weather. Sherry, I don't know if you can leave a link. It probably didn't leave it there, Sherry, honestly. If you're trying to get a link to me, you'd have to email it to me. Otherwise, only the mods can drop links. Yeah, it's disgusting, Mark. Like, even if it turns out, like, let's say she's involved, like her and Richard Allen had some kind of, conspiracy that we didn't know about. The fact that you don't have any proof of something like that, which is not realistic, you know what I mean? Nobody's expecting that to be a reality. So to drag her name under the mud because you can't do an actual investigation, you're taking everything that you see on the surface, which is her strange behavior. And remember, psychopaths aren't going to really be giving you red flags. They've been spending their entire life trying to hide those red flags. So one thing I've learned in true crime is that now I find it usual. For me, it's normal if you're acting weird after one of your family members is brutally murdered. If you're acting normal or super weird, then it's a red flag. You know what I mean? If you're just walking around like nothing happened, no emotion. But yeah, just attacking her because of all the stuff that's on the surface. And I know there's a lot of weirdness. Like she said, somebody hacked into Libby's account and that she knows who that person is and that it's no big deal. Weirdos and conspiracy theorists like us, to us, that's like chum for sharks, right? We don't want to believe her. We want to see it for ourselves. She's too stupid to know what's going on. She's hiding something. We just need to check ourselves, honestly. Like, just because we think it could be something doesn't mean it is, and doesn't mean that we have any right to that personal information because we're interested in the give right to everything, right? But like us, everything is suspicious. But you have to have what you're doing. You're basically becoming what serial killers are, right? They obsess and they fantasize. Like me, I fantasize about helping on a true crime case. But some of these trolls and these obsessive types, they fantasize about destroying people online that don't agree with them. They weaponize their channels. They get in good with the victims' families, and they talk for them, and they control the narrative, and they're no longer thinking freely. They've now been attached themselves to a parasite in all reality. And that's not what we're about. Oh, it's probably because I'm sharing. Yeah, she probably could. She probably could. Sometimes they try to destroy people's tasks, life too. Past life, attack people's past lives too. Not just the online part. Yeah, seriously, there's people here that they act like serial killers. Seriously, that's what they act like. They are literally psychopaths. They may not be killing people, but they try to harm people. One thing that serial killers do is they create a delusion which allows them to target the human being. So they spend their entire young adult life fantasizing about raping, torturing, and murdering people. but they can't bring themselves to do it. They can't find the right circumstances, even though they're impulsive about it. So what they'll do is they'll create a delusion so that they can target somebody, like let's say a sex worker. Oh, well, they're disease-filled vermin. Same thing goes on with these psycho people online. If you don't agree with them, they'll find a reason. They're looking for somebody to target, and that's online. And they're just like the psychopath. They're chameleons. They're acting like us, right? Oh, we're just interested in true crime. We're here to have create some kind of to where they've convinced themselves by attacking you, doxing you, whatever it is that harming you is they people for the sake of harm. So yeah, you might be being targeted by some panic. Yeah. Well, if it looks like we're having a bad miss there, we do have a couple of other live streams scheduled today, but I did want to make those public announcements. I appreciate we've gotten a couple of cash apps. You guys know who you are. Thank you. If you guys want to support our investigation into the Emily Pike case, to and then anything else that you guys can cut. And we'll go out there and that's matters. You got to get out there and you got to ask questions. If you want the news, you got to get out there and break it. So I can't with you, but if you 100% crowd funded. But that's what the channel's trying to do. We're trying to do more of those types of things. When it comes to the Mount Ord murder, if you guys joined us late, they did accept my FOIA request, which means they are fulfilling some part of it, whether it's the or the anything like that, even if it's just a 911 call, that's something that we can put out there for the public that we took our time to generate, and it might create a lead. I don't know. But those are the things that we're going to continue to do. And with your help, we can do it more often. There you go, bootleg. And people that I thought were friends of mine, but my intuition is great. It tells me, like, at some point in time, this person doesn't all that try the behavior from their own personal life at me. I've always seen it coming. And just got to chop that up to God-given discernment, I guess. Pike. Yeah, we're going there, Sensei. And if anybody wants to donate to the Cash App to help with gas money or be a part of it, you don't have to feel pressured. We're going to do it anyway. But if you want to help with those things and you want to feel like you're involved, if you do donate, make sure you put in there, this is for the Chelsea Grimm case. This is for the Emily Pike case. This is for the Mount Ord case. All right. And take care, and I'll see you again today.